Hi everybody, I'm Kelly Ashton with Kelly Quilter Designs. If you have purchased rotary cutter blades recently, you know that they are not an inexpensive item. So I would like to share with you a tool that will help you extend the life of your rotary cutter blades. So I'm going to turn my camera around and give you a little demonstration on this tool that I found that works really well to extend the life of your rotary cutter blades. So what I'm going to talk to you about is the Twist and Sharp Dual Rotary Blade Sharpener from Colonial Needle. And I love this tool. It works really, really well. And even though the one that I have open lying in front of me right now is for the 45mm blade, which is probably the blade I would say most of us use most often, it also is available for a 28mm rotary cutter blade and a 60mm rotary cutter blade. So let me show you how this works. So in the package you get these two sections, and this piece actually twists apart, and this is where you put your rotary cutter blade. So again, this one that I'm showing you is for the 45mm blade, but I'm going to exchange it out for the 28mm because that actually is the size blade that I use most frequently, and so that's the blade that I have ready to be sharpened. So here is the section of the tool that actually holds the blade. I'm going to take it apart just to show you how this works. So it just unscrews. There's my 28mm rotary cutter blade that I have, and I just place it, the hole in the middle of my blade, on that screw, and then align the sections and screw them back together so that it's taut. You don't have to twist it, over twist it, but it just needs to be firmly, hold your blade firmly between those two pieces of plastic. And then the other part of the tool is this disc that is two-sided. So you see on this side we have a dark disc inside of the blue disc, and on the other side we have a light disc inside of the blue disc. And what those light and dark sections are gritted, not grid, G-R-I-D, but grit, G-R-I-T, gritted, so that's what we use to sharpen the blade. Now, I will be the first to admit that when a tool looks pretty straightforward, that I don't always read the directions, but there is a very important bit of information, and the directions are right inside the packaging here. There's a very important piece of information in there that I would not have known about had I not read the instructions, and that is that these gritted circles act like whetstones, like the whetstone that we use when we sharpen our knives. So it's really important before we try to sharpen our blade that we wet the discs. Now the dark circle is a coarser grit, and the lighter circle is a fine grit. So we're always going to begin by using the coarser grit, and before we start sharpening, I just dip my finger in a little bit of water, and I just run a little bit of water over that dark circle. And then I hold the large blue circle, I take the piece where my rotary cutter blade is, and I firmly hold my blade against the dark grit circle, and I just twist it around. And I'm going to twist it. You don't want to go back and forth, like twist it away and toward you. You just always want to go in one direction. So I just have gotten into the habit of twisting away from myself, turning the little handle away from myself. And you're going to do that, 10 to 15 times on that side. Then you're going to remove the blade, turn it around so that you get to sharpen the other side of the blade on that coarser grit. And again, I'm going to do this turning it away from me for about 10 to 15 or so rotations. Then I'm going to remove my blade again. Now I'm going to turn the disc over so that the fine grit circle is facing me. And again, I'm going to apply a little bit of water here on that surface. And then once again, put my blade in and twist it away from me, 10 to 15 rotations or so. Take it out, turn it around so that I get the other side of the blade, rotate it 10 to 15 or so times, and I have just sharpened my blade. Now, this is the pieces minus the blade that come in the dual rotary blade sharpener, the twist and sharp. But Colonial Needle also has a turn and sharp base. So if you have any issues with arthritis, for example, or you just want to have the blade further away from your hands, having the turn sharp base is really, really handy. And so how that works is you just take your blue sharpening disc, place it down into the turn sharp base, and then place your secured blade on top. And again, I've got it set the way that I would do this in order, with the dark grit up first. And then you take the handle section of the turn sharp and place it over so that the handle of the sharpening mechanism comes through, and just snap the handle on. And then you just twist the handle. Again, I just rotate it around in a clockwise fashion or to the right, but you could go either way as long as you just go the same way all the time, and do that 10 or 15 times. Then you squeeze these little protrusions so that you can take the handle off. And I would turn this over so that I get the other side of the blade, snap the handle on, sharpen it again until I've done 10 or 15 times. Squeeze the handle and remove it. Now I'm going to set my blade down, and I'm going to turn my disc, my blue disc, over, put it back down in my turn sharp base, put my blade in, snap on my handle, sharpen 10 to 15 times, remove it, turn my blade around one more time, and this is now on the fine grit circle. Snap my handle on and complete the sharpening of my blade. So it's a wonderful tool to really help extend the life of your blades, and then when your sharpening is done, you just unscrew it, remove your blade, and put it back into your rotary cutter. Now I will say that I never wait until my blade gets really, really dull. I want to sharpen my blade when I start to notice that it is starting to get a little bit dull. And you can resharpen it many, many times, and you'll be able to tell when it's just kind of, you've extended the life of your blade as long as you possibly can. Now, I will say, if you happen to run over a pin or something with your blade that gets a nick in the blade, the rotary blade sharpener is not going to get rid of a nick like that. I mean, there's really nothing that's going to fix a nick like that in your rotary blade. But if you're just cutting with it and it begins to get dull because of the cutting through your fabrics, the twist and sharp in conjunction with the turn sharp base or not, either standalone twist and sharp or the twist and sharp in conjunction with the turn sharp base, is a great way to extend the life of your rotary blades. So I'm going to move back up here and turn my camera around and just say, it's been nice to show this to you. I hope that you find this tool interesting. Again, this is a Colonial Needle product. You can find the product if your local quilt shop isn't carrying it. You can find it directly on the colonialneedle.com website. But I think that you'll find it really helps to extend the life of your blades, and that just saves a little money in your pocket for maybe a little more fabric. So take care, everybody, and happy quilting.